What's going on, everyone? I'm Devin, and I am starting a new series today called Behind the Edit. In this series, I'm going to be breaking down the whole entire editing process, the timeline itself of some of the favorite projects I've gotten to be a part of. So yeah, in today's video, we're going to be breaking down a video I made for Brewing probably about 6 months ago now. This is definitely one of my favorite videos I've ever made, and it's whenever I have a new company reach out to me, they always bring up the Brewing video, and everyone seems to really like it. So I've posted this timeline before, and I've gotten a lot of questions about the different things within the edit, why there's so many layers, why there's so much to it, and it's about a 1 minute video, but there's a lot of detail put into it, and yeah, I really like how the video came out. So if you haven't seen the video and you want to watch it before I go through this, go for it. It's on YouTube, Instagram, pretty much everywhere, LinkedIn as well. But I will play the full video at the end of this as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So guys, here's the overall timeline for the project. I just quickly want to tell you guys the overall vision of this project, what we were thinking when creating this. We wanted to create something that really showed the actual personality of Able. And we're gonna do that by gathering all the team members, the community of Able, everyone that works with Able, and get shots of them doing their thing. And put it within the video. So yeah. So you guys, just diving in here, I want to quickly explain to you what all of this is here. So everything within everything on the bottom here, this is all the sound design. These are all the sound effects. So everything in green here is a sound effect. These are, you're gonna hear them when we play the video at the end. But each of these are little sounds that just bring that realism to the actual video. And then everything we have here in yellow, this is the song. I like to download the song's stems, not just the whole song. What the stems are is where it breaks the song up by instrument, so that way you can mess with it, make it work for the video you're trying to create and things like that. So that's one thing I always do. I like to download the actual stems of the song and put it in here. Because as you can see, I have a lot of different cuts in here because, for example, this video is only a minute long, but the song might have been, 3 minutes long. So you have to figure out how to get that song cut down, but still have it sound natural so it doesn't just like end abruptly or it doesn't come in too fast and it sounds smooth and natural. This sound design consists of multiple things. It consists of the actual sounds that you're gonna see within the video. So like right at the beginning here, people are walking in. I put sounds of footsteps. I put sounds of like ruffling coats and jackets. I put sounds of like trains and cars driving by. And when you're doing sound design, it's really important to think of how do I want people to feel when they're watching this? And then you can determine what type of sounds you can put in there to make them feel a certain way. Another thing that consists within this sound design is a lot of stuff from this sound pack that I have. It's really cool because it has these different sounds, and they organize the sounds based off of how they will make you feel. So like, I don't know, one would be like they literally have the exact names, like someone coming up behind you is one of the names of the sounds. And it's like this eerie, scary sound that you would put if like someone was coming up behind a person and it was like in the dark and it was all scary. So they organize the sounds off of the feeling you're trying to portray. Up here, you'll see these clips are all different colors. I organized these clips off of the activity that was going on within the video. So all these purple clips, these are the band clips. Everything in green is the fire clips. These adjustment layers are what I use for color grading. And then everything up here is different overlays, whether it's graphics for text or light leaks or any other type of overlay that you might put. That's what I put up here. So just diving into this first part of the video, you'll realize there is no music. The music comes in right here. So everything leading up to this point is strictly sound design. So that's this whole beginning part here. This text effect right here, that is just a preset I found online, to be completely honest. I'm horrible in After Effects. So that is a preset I found, and I thought it fit the overall vibe really well. And then there's a sound effect behind that as well. These are all very fast cuts. I wanted to give each section an equal amount of time, but I knew the band was going to have a little longer chunk, just being it was at the beginning. So as you guys see there, these cuts are very quick. It's like everyone getting ready, drinking Able beer. That's kind of the product placement. Really low-key product placement throughout this entire video. But everyone's kind of getting ready, right? And then the last shot before they start playing is them turning up the amps, kind of signaling that the music's gonna get louder within the video, where the band starts playing and the music then turns on like this. So then being this whole scene was so dark, I wanted the next scene to also be dark so it wasn't so abrupt, like going from dark to light scenes every other. I wanted it to kind of merge well like that. So then the next scene was the fire scene, people hanging out at the fire. As you're gonna see within this scene, what I did was I put my Aperture 120D in the back as a backlight, shine it at everyone just to get that really cool effect, add depth to the video, and make the shots more interesting. So yeah, guys, you'll see as listening to this, the sound effects are very subtle in there. You don't want to ever overpower sound effects. And these are just straight cuts. There's nothing fancy to them. They're just clean cuts. Each clip is placed with purpose. It's there for a reason, and it's so it flows well. Okay, so going into this next section, what I did with the stems was I caused the music to slow down a bit because there was some slower scenes within this video that I didn't want that loud music going on. Because this song definitely totally fits the vibe and the brand of Able, but I wanted a slower part of the music in here to kind of merge in some of the other clips that didn't need that more intense music. So we slowed that down going into the shots that were filmed at the hewing here. So overlaying all of this right here is a light leak. This is in that same pack as I got in the sound pack. And this is just a very subtle light leak. It's very elegant. It adds a nice touch to it, adds some color, and it also merges these clips together very nicely. For those of you that know my editing style, I don't use many effects. I keep things very simple because I want my videos to look timeless and not lose that look over time. So now we got the shots of the actual stuff at the dog park. Nothing fancy there. Definitely wanted to show the dog as much as we could. And then I did a light transition going into the bagpiping here. The bagpiping was definitely a highlight. It's something you would not expect, you don't hear of often. So we definitely wanted to show a lot of that. But here's that overall transition with the lighting. So yeah, guys, so as you can see, again, above here we have that light leak. And these cuts fast, so like I wanted it to peek out, so I wanted it to cut right in to the back of the shirt, Able, Minneapolis, right there. So I wanted to cut in there, and then I wanted this shot of him just right front and center, bagpiping, as the light just fades away. Just kind of introduce this overall scene and have it really draw some attention. And as you can see, the light leak goes all the way into this next shot. You get this really nice light here, and then it pretty much fades completely away. This is the name of the band itself, so I really wanted to show that. But yeah. Okay, so with this shot here, I wanted to use the actual movement of the camera to get into that next clip. So it's very simple. I planned this out when I was filming, tracked his hand as I was moving the camera, and then I cut it into a clip that was also moving to the right to keep that transition smooth. These shots like this, where they cut quick like that and you're doing those in-camera transitions, they don't always work. Never force a shot to be in a video. If it doesn't work, keep it out of it. In this case, it did work, so I left it in. All right, guys, so going into the next part of this video, we have shots of the actual tap room. So yeah, let me show you this here. So as you guys can see, what I did here was I filmed two very similar shots well, not similar shots, but shots where the beer was in the same spot of the frame. And then I cut it, and so I had to crop it a tad here. So as you can see, it's pretty centered right here, the glasses, and then it cuts, and it's in the same exact spot of the frame. So all I had to do here was I had to move around the clip. I don't know if I did it on this one or the other one. It might have been this one. So what I did to get this to be able to work, this transition, when I was editing it, I dragged this over like one frame, like, or probably 2 frames, like just like that. And then what I did was I looked here. As you can see, I lower the capacity, it's completely gone. And I would adjust both the scale and the position of the actual clip itself to perfectly align. This is a great way to get it to perfectly align, because obviously when the screen is bigger, you'll see, let me make this bigger for you guys. You'll see if it's pretty close to line. Next shots, we have some shots at the barbecue truck. Nothing fancy, just very simple shots here. Trying to show everyone have a good time. Making some barbecue, as you guys know. Abel, or you might know, Abel has a barbecue truck, Animale's Barbecue, right outside of their brewery. So we obviously wanted to share that with you. I love this shot right here, just boom. Going into these shots, again, so this is one of the places where Abel has their beer, and we wanted to get some shots of them playing, what is it called, bubble hockey, I think it's called. So nothing too crazy with this editing. I would say one thing I did here was, as you can see, he scores here, right? And his left hand, it gets lifted from that, whatever you call it, stick right there. And I clipped that into this clip right here, where his left hand is up and he's like, you know, giving a little cheer or whatever. So yeah, that was the only thing I did here. I just wanted those clips to align well. And then as you can see here, I shot this to where the beer was in the frame. Again, very subtle product placement within this video. We didn't want it like to be in your face or anything like that. So one thing I did, so this was actually my favorite scene within the whole video, was the biking scene. I did a ton of color grading here. Here's the before, a lot of blues, and I wanted to warm that up and bring like a vintage tone within it, up that fade a ton, add some grain, overlaying it just to really, really fit the rest of the video and the overall brand of Abel. But yeah, these are my favorite shots right here. So again, large variety, different shots. I wanted a lot of lights going on in the back here, but these are fast clips. One thing I did here, I'm gonna open this up here. You see this right here, these lights. This is something like an anamorphic lens would make. But I decided to add an anamorphic within post. How I did that was, it's right here. I went and I got, as you can see, disappears, now it's back, as you can see up here. What I did was I went and I got a anamorphic overlay, and I plopped that over there. I changed the settings here. We're gonna see that. You're gonna wanna go over to opacity and change the blend mode to screen, and that'll get rid of the background and just make it blend in with the video. And then what I did is I tracked the overall, I tracked the flare, or not the flare, the anamorphic over the car lights to give that look. And it just adds that subtleness. You wouldn't even notice it without it, like no one would say anything, but I just wanted that extra detail, So coming into the end of the actual video here, sometimes we like to make the video just come full circle and end it on the clip that it started, especially being we were trying to portray that the song they were playing was also being used within the video. So as you see here, we end with the biking clip, and then it merges into the final shots of the band. So what I did here was I dragged down the audio that the actual band that I was recording from my camera. It's just in-camera audio. And I faded that in as the music was fading out, so I could get them kind of cheering, or yes, whatever Alan had said there. I think he said yes. Yes. So yeah, that's all I did there, was I faded in that audio. Just kind of makes it fun, more interesting, and I really enjoyed it. Wow, you guys, this video ended up being a lot longer than I expected, but I hope you enjoyed it. As you can see, there's a lot of hard work that goes into creating videos like this. This is a simple 1-minute video for social media, but there's all these different aspects and these details that go into it. Details that can easily be overlooked and forgotten, and I could have easily gotten away without doing some of those details, right? So yeah, you guys, let me know if you want to see any more of these, if you enjoyed this, and or if you had any questions of anything that I covered in here. So yeah, thank you guys.